I didn't schedule the live stream per usual. So I'm gonna wait for some people to gather around on in here because yeah, I didn't schedule the live stream. But don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out the link in my description. I have the Patreon. I do have my spiritual channel there. I have the skincare products from Glow Melanin, who I'm partnered with. Their products are super good. Also, I have some self pleasure stuff that you all can get some money off of through Womanizer. And then I also have the link to my TikTok there as well, because I haven't really been repurposing any of my content from TikTok over on to here. So you can find all that in the link tree. I am going to be posting to the Patreon today. Okay. I'm going to be posting to the Patreon today. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. Because I know I've been super neglectful of that. So we're going to be on and popping with the Patreon. And also, I'm back wearing makeup again. I am. One thing about me, I don't have like a set personal style. Okay. So, like, it really depends. And also, it depends on the climate. Y'all already know I travel all over the place, especially for work. In a warm climate, I don't wear makeup and I tend to not straighten my hair if I'm in a warmer climate. If I'm in a warmer climate, I'm usually no makeup and my hair is curly, with the exceptions of when I wear a wig or not. In a warmer climate, typically I will like to like straighten my hair, and then I do like to wear makeup in a warmer climate because I don't have to worry about sweating it off. Okay, so it's really for no special occasion. It's just I still like makeup. I just go in and out of wearing makeup and I'm in the mood to wear makeup. And so therefore I've been wearing it. Okay. So I appreciate all the compliments, by the way. Thank you guys. So today's topic. I seen a video on TikTok that inspired me to talk about what I want to talk about today on this live stream. And essentially, it was a video that a woman made, and she was saying that if you are a pretty woman and you're an ambitious woman, you should prepare to get hate from women. And then you also should prepare to get hate from men. And in my personal experience, this has been the case. This is why y'all don't hear me talking about friendships. This is the reason why y'all don't hear me talking about relationships. And the reason being is because when you're a pretty woman, that's one thing, right? When you're pretty, that's the expectation for you as a woman, is for you to be pretty. But when you're pretty and you have a good head on your shoulders, you're successful, you know how to get money, you're very assertive, you're a very powerful woman, that is supposed to be outside of your pay grade as a woman. Okay, that's supposed to be outside of what something that society is telling you to do. So you're already going to ruffle feathers when you're pretty and you take care of yourself. You invest in your beauty. You invest in how you look physically. Things that's already going to put a target on your back, but you're really going to put a target on your back when you are successful as a woman. And I think a harsh reality that a lot of women don't want to come to terms with is that when you're pretty and when you're ambitious and you're on the trajectory of success, you're going to have to be prepared to do life alone. Your power, your beauty, and your magnetism is you people that you bring into your life in most cases are going to be a liability. Okay, and this is me talking from experience. Okay, you're going to find and learn that the people that you invite into your life when you're beautiful and you're successful, you have a target on your back from everyone, from all angles. You're going to have a target on your back, and no matter how nice people are to you, no matter how much people compliment you, no matter even how much people actually do display actions of support, because I think that that's another thing too. A lot of people would like to just take the action of somebody as support, when in reality the action is just a transaction for them. They're not doing it because they really want to support you. They're not doing it because they actually want to see you thrive. A lot of people will do the action of supporting you because they want to be in your business. They want to know what's going on. They want to be able to tally the score of this secret competition that they have in their head with you. So even then, you can't even take someone's support as enough to write them off as a safe person. I mean, you have to think of like people like Selena. I mean, Yolanda was her assistant, and her assistant still unalived her because she clearly had a lot of jealousy and hatred for her. And it's usually going to be the people that are closest to you that are going to do you in. Like, familiarity breeds contempt. The more that somebody knows about you, the more that you welcome a person into your life, the more cards you're going to be able to give them and the more information you're going to be able to give them in order to destroy you. Very rarely is it going to be a stranger or somebody that you don't know that's going to do you in. It's more than likely the people that are around you, that know you, that are familiar with you, that are going to be the people that are going to do you in. And people will think about it is that the world is a stage. Okay, you have to realize that the world is a stage. And when you really think about it, through parenting and our parents, we've been taught to be actors and actresses since we could talk, right? You being taught manners, you being taught how to be civil, you being taught how to not be disruptive. That's essentially people teaching you how to act. That way, you are able to conform the way that society needs you to conform, to kind of have this whole wheel still running and have society still running the way that they need it to run. So a lot of people think that it's just going to be obvious, that these things are going to be very, very obvious from the beginning, and that couldn't be any further from the truth. A lot of people are very good at pretending that they like you. Okay, a lot of people are going to be very, very good pretending that they like you. They're going to smile. They're going to ask you about things that you're doing, and they're going to say, "Oh, that's so good. That's so good." The whole time, their intention on them asking about you was just simply for them to collect data, just simply for them to say, "Oh yeah, she's struggling. I feel better now because she's struggling," or, "Oh, well, she's making more money and she's doing this and she's doing that. Now I have a bone to pick with her. Or now I'm going to start some drama with her because I want to, make life harder for her because she's doing so well." So these are things that you have to be mindful of. And in my own experience, friendships and relationships have been nothing but an anchor for me. Nothing. And I don't mean an anchor to ground me. I mean literally an anchor sinking me down, making things harder for me, making it harder for me to be able to advance in life. Without me having friendships, I've been able to pay off a considerable amount of debt. I've been able to get a lot of things done without having to constantly hear, well, you don't want to go out and you don't want to do this and you're not being any fun and you're not, nope, I don't have to worry about any of that because I don't have any friends. I don't have anyone that I decide to deal with. Same thing in a relationship. I don't have to worry about having a thought in the back of my head and asking myself, "Oh, well, can I do this? Can I do that? Oh, I got to make sure that I don't do too much of this or don't do too much of that because I got to make sure that I'm respectful and I got to make sure that I don't emasculate some man or make somebody feel uncomfortable," and things like that. At the end of the day, the more people that you have in your life, the more mental work you have to do to make sure that you stay in the confines of keeping that person in your life. And when you are on the road to success and you're somebody that is very, very ambitious, after a while you're going to realize that that's going to be too hard to maintain, and that is going to just be it's going to be unrealistic in order for you to do that. And eventually you're going to get to the point where you're friends with somebody and like you'll want to keep your wins private. You know what I mean? You really won't want to be, quote unquote, boastful. You'll want to start shrinking yourself down because you're already picking up the energy from the other person that, you know what, if I bring up this win, if I bring up this success that I'm having, they're going to feel some type of way because they don't share the same type of success. And so I think that as women, it's very, very important for you to get comfortable with the lonely road. Okay. I think it's very, very important for you to get comfortable with doing things alone. Okay. You getting comfortable with not having distractions with friendships and with relationships and things like that. And here's the thing about it. I mean, naturally, we all want to be able to connect with somebody. Obviously, we all want to be able to bond with somebody, and that's not lost on me. But this is also another reason why I'm always harping on the fact on this channel that you need to get hobbies. Okay, you need to get hobbies because hobbies are a good thing that you can make an investment into yourself while getting to know other people without having to deal with the invasiveness of them getting into your personal life. Okay, and even then, you have to understand if you have a hobby and you're really good at it and you're one of the best people that are in it, you're going to get envy. You're going to get jealousy, especially if you're somebody that they're not expecting for you to be good at it. Okay. And I say this specifically with um, any of like the specific like demographics. So if you're a woman of color or maybe you're an older woman, even if you have some type of religious viewpoint or if you have a disability or something like that, you also have to realize that anything that would set you apart from the collective that you're around and you exceed people's expectations, that's also going to kind of put a little bit of a target on your back. But the good thing about hobbies is that, guess what? If you have a hobby and you've gotten so good at it, guess what? With all the jealous and envy, you could start your own classes or open up your own studio or make your own business at it because guess what? You have the talent and you have the skill set to be able to create your own sector now. To be able to create your own sector now. So guess what? Now you're going to be the boss of this. And so now you get to decide and pick and choose. Okay, I created my own temple. I created my own place. Now I can decide who can come in and who can come out of that, right? And another thing too is that during this, I don't want women, I think, because I get a lot of questions, right? I get so many questions from women that are like, but aren't you scared of yada, yada, yada? Aren't you scared of yada, yada, yada? At the end of the day, you cannot allow yourself to be fearful of the fact that your success is going to make other people uncomfortable or your beauty is going to make other people uncomfortable. You can't, because guess what? Sometimes it's not even like your beauty. People have an aura about them. People have an unspoken energy about them. And no matter what you do to try to make yourself be small, the energy is not ever going to be able to hide itself, and people are going to be able to pick up on that. So even though you're making a physical effort to be able to reduce these things down and shrink yourself into this small box to become unnoticeable, people are going to notice it regardless. So this is why it's very important that as a woman, you have to know who you are. You have to know your personality. You have to understand people's perception of you. That way, you're not constantly questioning yourself. I have a very powerful energy and I have a very assertive energy. So I'm going to have very polarizing reactions to me. I'm going to have the group of people who they're going to want so much of that energy that they're going to want to talk to me. They're going to want to get to know me. They're going to ask a lot of invasive questions. They're going to want to get in my business. And then I'll have people on the complete opposite end that they won't want to talk to me. They're going to trash talk me. They're going to just do shit behind my back and things like that. But that's because I'm understanding and I'm aware of how people perceive me. And that's very, very important. There is an element for you to understand and for you to slightly care about how what people think of you, not in the way for you to change, but in the way that you don't question yourself. Okay, so that way you're not over here like, well, so and so used to talk to me and now they don't talk to me. Okay, well, something might have changed. You might have improved in an area. If they were cool with you when you were sucking at something, and then now all of a sudden you're not sucking at it, okay, the reason why they're distancing themselves from you is because you're good at it. Or maybe you've lost weight, or maybe you've gotten surgery, or maybe they know about you earning more money. And so now they're, acting a little bit different. there's always something that even when a person is cool with you at first, if you make any improvement in your life, a lot of the time the energy is going to change because now they understand you're vibrating on a different frequency, and it's kind of making them feel threatened by the fact that you're not on the same level as them. And this is another reason why, that if you're a woman who is always trying to you're really focused on self mastery, and you're really focused on trying to become your best self, and you are seeking out elevation constantly, you're going to be better off without having any friends or without having a relationship. And that's just the honest to God truth. Okay. Because your elevation is just simply going to make people feel uncomfortable, point blank period. It's going to make people feel uncomfortable. You're going to expect support from people and you're not going to get it. And you shouldn't take any of that stuff personal. You're enough. Okay. Most of us were born in the world alone. You wouldn't have been born in the world alone if there was nothing in the world that you weren't going to be able to tackle alone. Like, that's the way that I look at it. If you needed to be attached to the hip to somebody, you would have been attached to the hip to somebody, right? I mean, and that's even in a literal sense. Like, when there's conjoined twins, a conjoined twin, it's very hard to have an operational surgery for a conjoined twin because they're literally sharing organs, right? They're literally sharing parts of themselves. So they have to be born codependent. Their life supply is dependent on another person. When you were born alone, that means that you were born with every functional thing that you possibly need to be able to get through every single thing in this life alone. And we also have to realize that this is the reason why I don't like it when people make the excuse of like, but we're human, and as humans, we're wired for connection. The reason why as humans we're wired for a connection was because from an evolutionary standpoint, we had to work in groups to be able to have food and to be able to have resources. We've I don't know how old the world is. I don't know. No one knows. No one knows how long we've been on Earth. No one can answer that question. We have estimates, we have guesses of how long we've been on Earth, but something tells me that from an evolutionary standpoint, we've lived longer with a group of people to rely on more than we've had without. But once again, we don't live in a world anymore where you have to rely on having a community of people in order for you to have your survival. So why not take advantage of that, right? Thank you for the super chat, Desi. An old friend of mine was very expensive, and as an old college student, I was reserved. She used to guilt trip me for not spending X amount of money. Yes, because at the end of the day, people are always going to feel comfortable with someone mirroring the same behavior as them. And like, even I'm guilty of this. Even I'm guilty of this. So like, I had an old friend, and like my old friend, like I said before, I go in and out of like I go in and out of like makeup and things like that, right? I don't wear makeup all the time. I don't do everything done up all the time, right? For me, it's kind of an ebb and flow. If I feel like it, I'll do it. If I don't, then I don't. And like I said earlier in the live stream, it just depends on also where I'm at location wise. I'm not going to wear makeup and it's 90 degrees outside. That's stupid to me. But I had a friend, and at the time, like, I was so focused with, like, bodybuilding and working out and things like that, that it was just dumb for me to really wear a whole lot of makeup and things like that. But my friend at the time, she was really focused on, like, wearing makeup and doing all that stuff, and, like, I remember telling her, like, "Girl, like, you don't need to wear makeup, like, you don't need to, like, do anything of that stuff." But really subconsciously, I really was just telling her that because I just wasn't wearing makeup at the time. Honestly, like when I really think about it and I really go back, I simply was just telling her that because subconsciously I was like, no, you should be kind of doing the same thing that I'm doing because I kind of don't want to do it alone. And another thing too is that like you also have to realize that this like mindset, it's very, very subconscious. No one is really consciously thinking like, oh, I need to enforce XYZ onto her because I want to feel more comfortable. It's subconscious because, like I said before, a lot of this is more in an evolutionary sense where it's been ingrained in us for so long. Most people are not even conscious of the fact that they're doing this, right? It takes a lot of you processing and thinking about past situations and kind of getting down to the heart of it for you to realize like where these things are coming from, right? And so even like at the workplace, I do want to do more content talking about us being women in the workplace because one content creator that I'm a mutual friend with, she made a video about her working in a trade and how she is getting harassed by her male coworkers. And the tides are really turning, and I feel like more women need we need more information, and we need more knowledge equipped on how to keep us protected in the workplace, and what to do like moving forward and things like that. That way you can keep your money flow, and then also you can keep yourself protected, and you can figure out the signs before you're fired or before you're demoted or before anything else can, happen to you. That way you can understand these things, because that's another thing too. In the workplace, it can be very, very vicious. You know what I mean? And like I said before, as a woman, it doesn't matter. If you work in a female dominated field and you're a threat, you're going to get shit. If you take your same self and you go into a male dominated field, guess what? You're going to get shit there too. So, it's not going to really matter. It's really not going to matter, because if you're a threat, you're going to be a threat to everybody. So you can't live in a cocoon your whole life because you're a threat to everybody. You got to figure out how you're going to move knowing that you're a threat to people. And so I feel like that's very, very important, because these are strategies, right? These are strategies that you have to have in place in order for you to um I guess, kind of avoid anything happening to you, or at least knowing how to prepare if something does happen to you, right? So, even with your own family, I mean, honestly, even with your own family, I feel like it's very, very important to not get into this whole mindset of like, I'm obligated to my family. No, you're not. You're not obligated to your family. You didn't ask to be born, and you didn't ask to be born into the family that you were born into. There are a ton of women, and their own mothers are jealous of them, right? Their own fathers are jealous, or their sister or their uncle and stuff like that. You're not obligated and you're not indebted to your family if your family is making you uncomfortable, or if your family is constantly making you feel as though they're in competition with you, or making you feel bad because you are quote unquote outpacing them, or doing something better than the ability that they have for you or that they thought. These are all things to be very, very cognizant of, and for you to not feel like you owe any indentured servitude to somebody just because you share blood. If they don't make you feel comfortable, then they don't make you feel comfortable. And at the end of the day, I really want women to stop putting themselves in situations that make them feel uncomfortable just simply because they feel like they owe it to somebody. You don't owe somebody your uncomfortability. At the end of the day, you're not crazy, and you don't have to sit through discomfort with anybody, with a relationship partner, with a friend, with a family member, with your coworkers, et cetera, et cetera. You don't owe anybody anything, right? And so I think another thing too is, when you're pretty and you're very ambitious and you're very career driven and very goal driven, another thing too is that you just have to be prepared to be misunderstood. And another thing too, that I want to talk about, I'll definitely do a separate live stream for it. But another thing as well is that when you're on a trajectory of success and you're beautiful and things like that, you have to make sure that you don't overshare. You have to make sure that you don't overshare. And another thing too that I want to start talking about on the channel, I've been shying away from it for so long, but I've been dipping my toe in water with like pieces of content. I do want to talk about more things in regards to race, because I really do think that majority of the women that watch my channel are Black women. And it really is important to talk about things that happen racially and in the dynamics that we have, because at the end of the day, the advice that I'm going to give you is not going to be it's not going to be one size fits all. Okay, and I'm really big on nuance, and I'm really big on adding more nuance to conversations. And so because my following is large enough and I'm kind of able to take more data from who's watching me and who's following me, I do want to talk about more things in regards to the nuances, because as women, we all share our own struggles, but obviously based off of things like race and even age and things like that. I mean, I've seen ageism play in the workplace amongst white women. I've literally seen it. I've literally seen a white boss go after the white women that were working simply because they were older, and she was trying to push them out simply because they were older than her, and she did not want any older people working at the facility. I've seen it. So I think it's very, very important to understand these things, because I've made a vow to myself, and I really want all women to make a vow to themselves too. I'm at the point in my life now where if I get any more BS from a workplace, if I get any more BS from a workplace and I can prove I'm going to document everything, I'm getting a lawyer. I'm getting a lawyer. And I think more women need to be putting themselves in a predicament, especially at the workplace. You need to put yourself in a predicament where you're going to be willing to fight and you're going to be willing to get litigation. I feel as though it is something that we do not do enough as women. It is not something that we have in the front of our mind. Um, Honestly, I feel as though you need to have it in your mindset that if something does not happen in the workplace, I am going to get a lawyer. And I feel as though you need to make sure that you have enough money saved up for a lawyer in case something happens. And this also has things to do with your level of protection that you have. Just with things like the police department. Like, there literally was a woman who I guess she was out with a group of friends. She got inebriated. They ended up losing the friend. Someone found the friend, called her group of friends and say, hey, I have your friend and she's really inebriated, but I'm calling the police. That way the police can escort her and they can drive her home. The police officer ended up essaying this woman. Get a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Sue the whole entire police department. Sue the whole entire police department. I feel like it's really, really important that you do have a right to sue. And like I said before too, if you fit in any demographic where you're different based off of your race, your age, your gender, you can file an EEOC complaint and then you can get a lawyer after, and then you can go from there, right? And then just being able to understand the signs of how it looks like when somebody's trying to drive you out of the workplace. That way, you're going to be able to already be 2 steps ahead, and you can already have your lawyer. And before they even fire you, you've already got the ball rolling because you're able to go after these people. I feel as though if you are someone that's ambitious and you're pretty and you're having to do things alone, yeah, make sure you get you some money for a lawyer. And I do want to start talking more about finances. Like, I really, really want women to care more about their finances. I really, really, really do, because most of the time when I'm talking about something, the reason why I'm talking about it is because it's something that I'm focused on personally, right? It's something that I'm prioritizing personally. And as a woman, the number one thing that you can care about and prioritize right now is money. That is the number one thing that you should be prioritizing right now as a woman, is your income, your money. Okay. Money is important. Okay. We live in a society where, especially in patriarchy, they want women to fear money. They want women to fear being successful. And the reason being is that if you fear money, and if you fear being ambitious, and if you fear being successful, they have it where, oh, well, the more successful you are as a woman, then you're just not going to get a man. But how often do we see that work out for women? How often do we see that work out for women where they neglect their dreams and their aspirations and their career and their financial standing, and if they had all of that, they gave it up, and then they got a man, and then it actually worked out for them. It's very, very rare that that is going to be the outcome for you. You cannot allow yourself to be fearful of making money. A lot of women fear making money because they understand that if the more money I make, the more alone I'm going to be. And that's just the honest to God truth. Most women fear being alone, and that's ruining the amount of money that you're making, because it's not palatable for a woman to be successful and to have money. But guess what? You can have so much money where I promise you, you're not going to care about people's opinion. You're not going to care about people's opinion. This is why you have people like Kim Kardashian, who can be completely polarizing. And Kim Kardashian, like, say whatever you want to say about her, but she knows how to alchemize the fact that she knows how to alchemize negative emotions from people. And the reason why is because she values money so much. She values money so much that she doesn't care about people's opinions. She doesn't care about what people have to say about her, because she's able to value money a lot more. Because with the more, I'm telling you, when you have a lot of money, you start to just not care about what other people think, because in order for you to make that money, you can't care about what other people think. How are you going to be able to get a second income as a woman, and you have friends saying, well, why can't you come out? Why can't you hang out with us? You're being boring. So then you're going to get peer pressured into not going after your second income, even when you know you got to pay Sally Mae, you got $50,000 of school loan debt, you got a car note that's $500 a month. You have all of this extra burden in your brain. And guess what? You'll live with that burden of having to pay off debt and having to owe people money, just simply because you don't want to deal with the discomfort of people, you not gaining favor from people, because they want to keep distracting you, and they want to distract you by having you go out with them to drink and to spend more money and to hang out with them, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing in a relationship. So naturally, it's just going to make people feel uncomfortable when you have yourself together, and then you're also, very, very pretty at that. um and even with the whole, people thing, even with the whole pretty privilege and things like that. So, I've been going out, I'm not going out, but like, obviously I've been out in public or whatever. And I had a thought in my brain yesterday, or maybe it was the day before yesterday. I don't know. But I went out the day before yesterday, and I was just out running errands, and like I pretty much looked like how I look today, right? I had on my makeup, and like, I had on like my cute little pink set or whatever. And I was just looking around at everybody. I was just observing, I was just looking around. And I thought to myself, wow, because everybody is so dressed down and everybody's so dressed for comfort, and people don't have a personal standard for how they leave out look in the house. It doesn't take much nowadays. It doesn't take much nowadays to come outside and actually look like somebody. You don't have to do anything. I mean, honestly, you leaving out of the house and you wearing jeans, just you wearing jeans and some boots, and you don't even have to have on any makeup. Just you going outside with some jeans and some boots, that'll be enough in order for you to be able to stand out. So imagine the level of discomfort that other people will have, especially women. If you work in the workplace with a lot of women, imagine the discomfort that a lot of women are going to have when they see you wearing a full face of makeup and they just rolled out of the bed. They just rolled out of the bed within 5 minutes, right? And I remember when I worked at a place, this is what's so funny. So I remember I worked at a place in the Midwest, and I was on assignment for 13 weeks. And then they liked me so much that they had extended my assignment for another 13 weeks. So I remember the first 13 weeks, I wore my natural hair and I wore no makeup, and I was in the middle of bodybuilding prep. And I kind of wanted to give myself a little bit more motivation. And so I ended up getting some braids. I had got some human hair braids, and then I had started wearing makeup. because I just wanted to have a little, it's prep. I'm not eating as much food. And so I kind of wanted like more of a reward, something that I could look forward to doing. So I started doing my makeup again and all that and got braids. It wasn't too long after that they started giving me problems. People started giving me problems in the workplace. And the thing about it is that it was actually it was the people that looked like me. It was the people that looked like me, the women that looked like me, and they were in a lower position than me. So they were like women from transport. They were like a tech assistant or like a nurse's assistant, and things like that. I mean, if I could be completely transparent, I mean, if I could be 1,000% transparent, in my own experience, the people that gave me the worst time ever were the women that looked exactly like me, if I'm being completely honest. So this is when I started getting like reported for like very petty things. Oh, and then I even had a male transporter. He tried to humble me or whatever. I remember I came to work and I had my hair done and my makeup was on, and obviously like I'm losing weight and all that stuff. I'm losing weight, and so this black transporter, he was like, you look good today." And my back was facing him. I didn't know like who he was talking to. I was talking to someone, but he was looking in my direction and he said, "Oh, you look nice today." And I said, "Thank you." And then he said, "I wasn't talking to you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then the girl that I was talking to, she's like, "I'm pretty for sure like you were talking to her." And then he's like, "No, I was talking to you." But yet he was looking at me when he said it. Just dumb shit. Like little things like that, right? People wanting to go out of their way to try to embarrass you or try to like humble you and things like that. And the same thing kind of happened in Boston, except I came there with my hair and my makeup done already. And I remember one of the girls was like, "Well, I only wake up 15 minutes before I go to work because I don't live far from here. And so I just hop out of bed and take a shower and then I just come to work or whatever." And obviously, I knew that she made that. I knew that she said that because obviously I come to work with my makeup done, and I was the only person in the whole entire department that actually had like wore makeup and that had actually put themselves together before work. And at least for me, working my 9 to 5, I do prefer to wear makeup when I'm working a 9 to 5, just simply because when I'm physically at work, I do perform better when I have on makeup. Like when I put and I invest into my beauty, just psychologically, it does something for me where I do like invest more time and I invest more effort into my beauty. And so you have to just get very comfortable and used to the fact that people are going to make little digs and they're going to make comments and say, I mean, I remember one time there was this no one ever complained about my nails. This is when I first started ultrasound. And once again, it was someone that looked like me, but she was older than me. It was a black woman. No one ever complained about my nails. No one ever complained about my nails. However, she specialized with something in ultrasound, and she was training me for that specialty because the doctor that was doing the exams, he didn't want he didn't want her to do the exams anymore. He wanted me to start doing the exams. So she started training me. My nails were never a problem. My nails were never a freaking problem. All of a sudden, when she starts training me, the boss comes up to me and she's like, "Yeah, so you just need to make sure that like you watch your nails, like you need to make sure that you like watch the length of your nails or whatever." And I'm like, "Okay, obviously the reason why this is coming up is because the woman that's training me felt some way about my nails or whatever." And at this time, I kept my nails like relatively short too, which was insane to me. I kept them relatively short. And so I knew that the reason why that complaint came up was because she went back and she told the boss that, "Oh, yeah, like her nails are too long and yada, yada, yada." And so that's what prompted that boss to come up to me and say something about my nails. So you have to be you have to understand that it's coming from somebody that's threatened by you. It's coming from somebody that's jealous of you, right? It's coming from somebody that sees you as a threat and they're trying to find different tactics to humble you and to make you feel uncomfortable. At the end of the day, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. I used to take it really personal. I used to take it really personal and be like, you know, why is this happening to me? Why can't people just get a life? Why can't people just decide to mind their own business? And if they want to get their nails done, they should get their nails done. Or if they want to wear makeup, they should start wearing makeup. I just had to accept the fact that, you want to know what, for as long as I live, this is just how it's going to be. It's just how it's going to be. And I just have to make sure that I have the protections in place for me to stay one step ahead in case things get out of hand. This is the reason why, me personally, I do contract work. Because a lot of people ask me, why do you travel for work? This is a part of the reason why I travel for work, because I got so sick of being a part of the politics and being on the negative side of politics. I only had one job where the boss liked me enough where I was being favorited, essentially. However, my work spoke for itself. My work ethic spoke for itself. Like, behind the level of favoritism, it was just due to the respectability that I had received from the fact that my work ethic was so strong and that I was very assertive and I was very outspoken, because my manager was very headstrong. Was my manager, was she also an ageist? Yes, she 1000% was an ageist. She was coming after the women that were older. However, she did respect the fact that I was headstrong. She did like that. Anytime outside of that situation, it was always where the politics, it just really wasn't in my favor, no matter what I did or how hard I worked. And so that's the reason why I do contract work, because at least I'm only there for 13 weeks. I'm only there a minimum of 13 weeks. If the place doesn't want me anymore, oh well, I have all other states I have all 50 states that I'll be able to work at. It's not that big of a deal to me if I can't stick around at somebody. So because I knew how uncomfortable I make people in the workplace, and because I got so sick of dealing with the politics, that was one of the reasons why I decided to go into contract work. And so I say all that to say, if you know that you are a threat to people, and you do know that there's a level of draining that you have in the workplace or just in friendships and things like that, you have to be prepared to pivot. Life is going to look a little bit different for you because of the fact that you are such a threat to people, right? You're going to have to move. You may have to move around more. You may have to bounce around more. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not ever going to be able to gain stability in a place or in a relationship or in a friendship or with your family when the people there are committed to providing a unstable foundation for you. Is just not going to work out. And so you have to be okay with the fact of, you want to know what? I'm either going to stay here and I'm going to have to deal with the tormenting, or I'm going to file a EEOC complaint, get a lawyer, get litigation involved, and then go on about my merry way. This is another reason why I really push for women to get multiple streams of income. I really, really, really encourage for women to get another stream of income. That's very, very important. When you're a woman and you're out here and you're ambitious and you're beautiful, you're literally going to have people out there trying to sabotage you. You're going to have people out there that are going to try to make your life harder. Okay. And this could be from anyone. Like the male bosses, like whenever I have a male boss, I already know they like to terminate my contract. Male bosses do not like me. They're very, very quick to terminate my contract. The female bosses, they tend to not terminate my contract, but the male bosses, for sure, they're going to terminate my contract. They do not like me. So, just you understanding that, like, you having multiple streams of income, you're not going to take it so personal, and you're not going to try to overstay your welcome at these places unless you need to. If you get litigation involved, you got to wait for them to fire you anyway. So if you ever want to get litigation involved, you got to wait for them to fire you. Don't ever take a severance package or anything like that, because then at that point, they're trying to protect themselves and the company. And then you're not going to have a leg to stand on in case you ever want to go to litigation. So always keep that in mind. Wait for them to fire you if you want to go down like the filing a lawsuit realm. Okay. And another reason too is because I've seen this happen in my own mom's life. Like I literally had to witness my mom like getting ganged up on at work, getting sexually harassed at work, and the boss didn't care. The boss let it happen. There were women that she worked with that were literally like helping like the sexual harassment take place by someone that had a crush on her at work. Like I've literally seen it with my own mother. And so even with that example, I had to really, really understand and like kind of take that as a learning example to figure out, okay, if this happens to me, like, how am I going to move? Like, how am I going to make sure? Because, like, my mom is a medical professional, and like the fact that she didn't know what to do at a point in time, like, it put a stain on her license for a little bit, and she had to fight it, and she had to get a lawyer and things like that. And so I had to learn from that experience, and she had to learn from that experience too, of having to do it the hard way, of like having to fight tooth and nail because she didn't know exactly what to do in that predicament. Because the thing about it is that no one is thinking that they're going to go to the workplace or have a friend or have a family member or a boyfriend put a target on their back to be attacked or to be victimized or to be outcasted or sabotaged, right? Thank you for the super chat, my twins. I really, really appreciate you. Um, and so you have to be prepared for these things to happen. Like you just got to know, like I got that energy, I got that aura. And that's it. And also just making sure that you stay you don't overshare, you know what I mean, with anyone. And another thing too, when people are trying to come into your life and you're pretty, you're ambitious, my dad says this all the time. He says, "Who sent you? Who sent you?" Whenever you have new people trying to come into your life, I want you to always ask yourself that question. Who sent you? Why are you here? What do you want? Always ask yourself that. When people are a little bit too adamant on wanting to get to know you, wanting to date you, you know, slow down and ask yourself why. Who sent you? Why do you want to get to know me? What is that all about? I want you to always do that. It can be very easy, especially when you're lonely and you're on this road alone. It's going to make it very easy for you to want to invite somebody into your life, especially when you've been on the road for so long and you've been just trucking along, doing your own thing on this road. It can be very, very easy to mistake that for interest. It can be very easy to take that as a sign of someone being very interested and being curious in you. I can guarantee you that when someone is adamant on wanting to know more information about you or wanting to spend time with you and things like that, they're not trying to come into your life to benefit you in any way. I can guarantee you they're trying to come into your life because they're trying to take something away from you. They're trying to set you back in life. I just watched a TikTok video. Listen to this. I watched a TikTok video last night. It was a Latina woman. She was making $20,000 a month. I guess she worked in sales, and $20,000 a month was a good month for her. Minimum, she was making about 8K a month. I have no idea what type of sales she did. I wish I could find out and know, if I could be completely honest. But anyway, she worked in sales and she lived in poverty. And so obviously when she started making this money, she got a nice house, she got the nicest furniture, she really, really was romanticizing herself. And of course, lo and behold, a man comes into her life. She falls in love with this man. But listen to this. So she had it wasn't a friend, it was someone that she knew from school, and they did not get along. So her boyfriend tells her, "Oh yeah, I went to the gym and there was this woman named so and so that I ran into, and she says that she knows you." And she says, "Oh yeah, I do know her." And like, I don't, oh my God, Lauren, thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas, Queen. Wishing you a prosperous 2026. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lauren. And so she was like, I don't like that girl. Her and I don't get along. And so essentially that lady that didn't like her, she did a whole destiny swap with her. So she ended up selling her place, all of her furniture. She said that her bed alone was like $2,000, $3,000. She wanted to be put up with this man so much. She said that she sold her bed for like $150 because she just wanted to get rid of everything, and she moved in with this man. This man ended up ruining her life. She ended up losing her job because she ended up being so fixated on this man, and then they ended up breaking up. And then lo and behold, the girl that ran into him at the gym, yeah, he's dating her now. He's dating her now. So all it takes is letting one person into your life that will distract you enough to the point that you will get off path. And I really want to make that clear. All it takes is one person. All it takes is one exchange, one interaction, one exchanging of numbers and things like that. All it takes is one interaction for you to be completely taken off your path, which is why it's very important as a woman. You have to really value the accomplishments that you have. You have to you have to value the body that you live in. You have to value the beauty that you possess. You have to truly value those things. Because when you truly value those things, you're going to understand that you're putting those things at risk when you let another person come into your life. Because in most cases, when you're a well-rounded person, it's going to be very few people that are going to come into your life that are going to benefit you. And that's another thing that you have to realize. It's hard being alone. It can be very hard being alone, especially now. It's the holidays. It's cold outside. It's the time where people want to gather around. It's a very communal time right now. But you have to realize that when you're a well-rounded woman, very, very, very few people are going to come into your life that are going to benefit you. So if the person cannot come into your life to benefit you, what is the purpose of them being there? What is the purpose of them being there? I know for me personally, I decided to swear off friends and relationships when I got tired of being the teacher to everybody. And I'm doing it for free. This is the reason why I make content. I love teaching. I love passing off wisdom. I love passing off knowledge. And I understand that the value of my knowledge and my wisdom, it shouldn't be given away for free. I should be making money off of that. And I said that in my personal life, I'm tired of being in relationships. I'm tired of having friendships. I'm tired of having people in my family constantly benefiting from my knowledge and my wisdom, and I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting anything. They're not able to give me anything. And if they are, it's not matching the magnitude of what it is that I'm giving them. Right. So I got to the point where I was like, no, if I'm going to do this, I rather do it for the masses and benefit people and be able to make money off of it. You know what I mean? So I look at it like, if these people aren't going to be able to benefit you, what's the point? A lot of people don't realize that a lot of people don't realize that when you allow yourself to get lonely and when you don't know how to heal your loneliness, you're going to sit here and you'll invite poison in your life because you're thirsty. You'll drink poison just simply because you're thirsty. You don't ever want to put yourself in that predicament. You're going to have to get better at figuring out a way to cope through the times that you are lonely. Like, being lonely is just a normal human basic emotion. You know what I mean? It just kind of is what it is. You know what I mean? We all have waves of like being lonely and wishing we could do things with other people and, et cetera, et cetera. I'm telling you, after a while, once you've been in it long enough, you're going to realize, and then once you've been alone for so long, you'll dip your toe back out in water and you're going to start interacting with people and you're going to start talking to people and hanging out with people. And guess what? Before you know it, you're going to be like, nope, I like being alone better. I guarantee you. You're going to be like, oh no, I don't feel like hanging out with anybody, because you're going to start noticing with your solitude and when you're in your growth and with your ascension and your self mastery, you're going to realize that it's going to be very hard for you to relate to people. It's going to be very, very hard for you to relate to people. And you're going to realize that most people, they still have the same concepts and the same mindset and the same rationale, and you haven't thought like that in years. And so it becomes draining because it's like, okay, I don't want to sit here and teach somebody all I don't want to teach somebody all of this, because there's a saying, the teacher appears when the student is ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. A person is only going to be receptive to listening to what it is that you have to say when they're ready, when they are ready and coming up like, okay, I'm ready to take on this knowledge. If the person isn't ready to receive your message, you telling them isn't going to make them want to receive it regardless. So it's a waste. So I got to the point where I'm just like, you want to know what? There's no point in me using my energy to uphold artificial friendships, artificial relationships, because now I'm draining myself. Now I'm out here using up all my energy because I'm trying to convince somebody to ascend and grow with me, when the whole time they're not on that path and they don't want to be on that path. But you just have to deal with the uncomfortability of being in a predicament that, you want to know what, I'm gonna have to do things alone, right? And it's just gonna be uncomfortable for a little bit. So this is the reason now, like in the workplace. So before, when I started traveling for work, I used to hang out with people that I worked with. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. Work is just work. I go to work and I go home. I don't talk about my personal life at work. I've become very vague when it comes to, information and things like that. And guess what? That's going to make people uncomfortable too. That's going to make people uncomfortable too, because when people have a lot of information about you, it'll make it easier for them to make you a target, right? When people don't have information about you and you maintain being mysterious and you're very vague, they cannot make you a target because they don't have enough information to make you a target. And so people will literally try to say, well, you're not a team player. You're very withdrawn. It's making the people at work, it's making everyone feel very uncomfortable because, you just don't seem to be very open. Yeah, the reason why they're making that a big deal is because they want to be able to get intel on you to make you a target in some way. And when you're not giving them ammunition, they can't shoot you. They can't shoot you when you're not giving them ammunition. So you have to also be prepared to the fact that when you decide to stay vague, it's going to make people feel uncomfortable and they're going to complain about that, right? Because all of that stuff is very draining for me. All that stuff is very, very draining. So you're always going to be better off just keeping to yourself. Like when I worked in New York City, I didn't even sit in the tech area. I would tell the girls, listen, I'm going to go to one of the rooms. I have everything pulled up in the room. I'll come back out here and I'll check up and I'll make sure that I'm in the rotation. But I would sit by myself in the ultrasound room and I would not interact. Only if one of my friends was there, because it was only one person that I trusted and liked working with. Only if she was there would I be in the tech area. Otherwise, no. And it's even better if you work from home. If you work from home, that's great. I lived in New York City in 2023 and like half of 2024. Mhm. let's talk about perfume and how they complain they have allergies. Girl, that happened to me in Boston. Ironically, that happened to me in Boston. So, here's the thing, okay? In medicine, it like for instance, I worked in Texas. We had a radiologist. He would always wear cologne, and he would spend like $300 to $600 on these super fancy colognes. And I kid you not, he would walk in a hallway, and you would walk in a hallway, the same hallway 10 minutes after, you would smell the cologne. Okay. The thing about fragrance is that anyone could wear fragrance in a hospital. So even if a patient, if it's an outpatient, if they have on a ton of cologne or a ton of perfume out in the waiting area, they're going to have it on in the waiting area. So when I worked at Boston, I remember the boss that I had, and I've talked about her before. So like I said before, for me personally, it's always other Black women. It's always other Black women. So my boss was a Black woman, and she actually was a lesbian. And so she was like going over the employee handbook or whatever. And I don't even think it mentioned anything about fragrances. And I remember her mentioning something to me, and she was like, yeah, like we also kind of have this thing about fragrances. So like, please don't wear any fragrances or anything like that. And obviously I had on a fragrance, and obviously she could smell it because I had got compliments about the fragrance. Guess what? I still ended up wearing the fucking fragrance. I still ended up wearing the fragrance. Because like I said before, I do contract work. So, oh well, if you all want to get rid of me, get rid of me. And my contract was on my contract was only, I was only there for 2 weeks. So it is what it is. I try not to do too much anyway, regardless. I try not to do too much anyway. But yeah, she was pissed off over the fact that I have fragrance, and like she called it out right away. And the thing that's so funny to me is that you'll know someone is picking you. You'll know someone is picking on you because they're going to let you do one thing that you shouldn't be doing while they're picking on something that's irrelevant. Because mind you, every medical handbook talks about artificial nails. Every employee handbook in medicine talks about artificial nails. I had long nails. She never mentioned anything about nails. She never mentioned anything about my nails, and my nails were way too long. They were way too long to have had my nails. So that's how I knew she was picking on me specifically with that, because in my head I'm thinking, okay, so I have these super long nails, and then now my perfume is an issue, but you draw the line at my perfume, but my nails are not an issue. Okay, obviously this has nothing to do with what you're claiming it has something to do with. Like, obviously you're bringing up something just to bring it up. That's how I kind of looked at it, because I'm like, if I'm going to be wrong in just this one thing and you don't say anything about my nails, okay, whatever. So yeah. And then another thing too, there were some female radiologists there, and they didn't like me either. And they noticed that the male radiologists were looking at me. They noticed the male radiologists were looking at me. And that was a problem too, because also another thing, I'm sorry, I don't wear baggy scrubs to work. I don't wear baggy scrubs to work. I feel as though, look at female police officers. Are female police officers wearing baggy ass pants? Are they wearing a baggy ass blouse? No, they're wearing fitted pants. They're wearing a fitted top. So Why do healthcare workers, why is a female dominated field, why is the expectation that we have to wear something super baggy? I wear Cherokee form scrubs. If you know, you know. I wear Cherokee form scrubs, and they are going to accentuate your figure. That's why they're called form, because they create the form. They create the form to their body. Old women get so frustrated when you have a nice body and you show off your body in your scrubs and they can actually see your body in the scrubs. They can't fucking stand it. But any other field, just about every other field, women are able to wear things fitted, even if they're in a male dominated field. So, no, I'm not going to wear baggy ass scrubs because you feel some type of way. And they actually did that. They bullied a girl. They bullied a girl in my x-ray program for this. She was in the class beneath me. She's this Cuban girl. She got a BBL and breast implants long before it was popular. And so, you know, her scrubs were gonna be fitted. I mean, they wanted us to wear these, you know, the old school Cherokees, just those plain Cherokees. They have no give. They're made up and down. There's no way that you could wear those scrubs, and if you're a full figured woman, you're gonna be able to kind of like have some give. Like, she had a BBL, she was super curvaceous, and so they wrote her up because they said that her scrubs were too tight. They said that her scrubs were too tight, and so they had like demanded. They were like, no, you have to, you know, go on ahead and say, oh yeah, you have to wear bigger scrubs or whatever. And in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, if she wasn't a full figured, if she wasn't like a curvaceous woman and she was wearing tight scrubs, I highly doubt, that they would have complained. Like, if she was bad built and her scrubs were tight, I highly doubt they would have said anything. I literally just think it was because she had a beautiful figure. She had a beautiful figure and she's in the workplace and it was making them feel uncomfortable. Yep, these are the people taking care of you when you're in the hospital. Yikes. Yeah, and the way that I look at it is this. I want someone taking care of me that feels good about themselves. I don't want a person to take care of me that doesn't feel good about themselves, because if they don't feel good about themselves, why would they give a fuck about me? Why would they care about how I feel? If they don't like coming to work and liking what they see and feeling good about themselves, why would they care about how I feel as a patient? So this is why, for me personally, I prefer to come into work being excited about how I look, and being happy and excited about how I look, because in my head I'm just kind of like what? Like, no, it's absolutely insane. And it 1000% was in my opinion, it was 1000% misogyny, because I just kind of felt like, why are you coming after this girl? Why are you coming after this girl just simply because she has on scrubs and like they're a little bit tight fitting and it's her body? It doesn't make a difference. Like, it's not her fault that she has the body that she has. Cause yeah, if she was overweight and her body didn't look like nothing, I highly doubt that they would have complained about anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mm-mm. So this is the reason why that I told y'all, I said, if anything happens at work and I know in my full heart that it has anything to do with like any of those sectors, race, ageism or disability or any of those things that are protected under the EEOC, I'm filing a lawsuit, because I'm not playing with these people. I'm not playing with these people anymore. I'm filing a freaking lawsuit. I'm not playing with them. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone. These companies and these people, these coworkers, they need to be held accountable. They need to be held accountable for how they're making other people feel in the workplace, when the person isn't doing anything to anybody, when the person is just minding their business. No, I'm at the point where it's like, no, I'm going to be getting paid. I'm going to be getting paid. I'm going to be getting paid for the hard time that people are giving me, and it's for something outside of my freaking control. Like, no, like I'm going to. This is why women should be given money when we are first born. We are already seen as objects. Might as well pay us since we are born valuable anyway. Some women can't even work in peace. Exactly. It's hard to prove it, but guess what? I don't care. I'll fight tooth and nail. I'll fight tooth and nail. And that's for anything too. Like I was watching this one lawyer, and she was talking about how she had a lawsuit with a man, and a man sued because they were avoiding giving him a promotion, and it was the first and only job that he ever had since he graduated, and he had been working there for 20 years, and he ended up suing because he knew that this place was purposely going out of their way to not promote him, and they were sneaky about it. So what the company would do was that when it was the position that he wanted to get promoted to, what they would do is they would, like, secretly, they would not post it, and then secretly they would tell an internal person about the position and let them know about the position, and then they would post it really fast, and then they would have the outside people apply for the position, and then the person that they wanted to promote, they would like give them all the answers. They would give them all the answers to the interview questions and let them prepare for the interview question. And so what they would do is they would say, oh, well, you want to know what? Well, the reason why, and they would let the other guy apply. And so they would say, well, the reason why he didn't get the job was because, as you can see, this person was the person, he answered the questions the best. So that's the reason why this person got a promotion. When they were secretly promoting someone by telling them what they needed to do to get the job and by telling them what they had to say to get the job, they ended up having to fight that for 5 years, but he ended up getting like a super, super good settlement. A super, super good settlement. So I feel like this is worth the fight. I'm at the point in life where it's worth the fight. It's worth it. I look at it like this. You can't avoid, you're not going to be, if you got that aura, you got that aura. BBL or no BBL, if you got that aura, you got that aura, you're going to always be a target. You're going to always be a target. So if, like, it's me with makeup, people can say the same thing about me. Well, why would you wear makeup to work if you don't want people to be a target? Because I've been a target when I wasn't wearing makeup. So what's the point? What's the point of me living a life where I'm reducing myself when people are going to sit here and they're going to feel some type of way anyway? What's the point? Because not to mention, this girl was also very gorgeous. She's also a very pretty girl. So if it wasn't going to be her BBL, I guarantee you it was going to be her beauty. What's she supposed to do? Scratch her face all up and not bathe and not do all this stuff and just come to work smelly just to avoid people from harassing her? No, it shouldn't. We shouldn't have to live in a world where women have to sit here and reduce who they are as a person and shrink who they are as a person to potentially avoid from being harassed in all that stuff from work. That's crazy. That's insane. Yep, they assume people don't have the time to run back and forth to court. Yep, or that you don't have the money, which is the reason why. Baby, I made sure I got money set aside. I made sure I got money set aside for a lawyer. I'm not dealing with it. For me, it's worth the fight because that's what they always want people. They always want people to have it in their mindset that, you know what, I already lost before I even filed the lawsuit. If you document everything, you know what every term means. You know the difference between favoritism, harassment, excuse me, the difference between if it's a racial discrimination or if it's favoritism. If you know exactly what everything means and you've done your research and you know what everything means and you know all of the everything with the employee handbook and you've done your homework and you've done your research, you'll know by then, okay, I have enough of a leg to stand on. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to once you've invested all that work, you're going to get a lawyer. Once you've documented everything, you've done the research, you've invested so much time that you're going to get a lawyer at that point. That's why they're going to say that's why they say document everything. Document everything. That way you've already invested time and energy into documenting everything, into clocking everything, that you're like, you want to know what? I've already invested time and energy to make sure I have all of this stuff clocked. I might as well just go the distance and just get a lawyer and just call it one. Had to go through similar situation where I had to change my university because a female teacher hated me out of my looks and even got too far where she tried to involve all male students in saying, right, oh my God, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. But then when you get them government people hate if you got zero military background, she said pivot should have been my middle name. Exactly. As women, we have to look good or people won't take us seriously. But then we will also have to deal with jealous women. Exactly, because statistics don't lie. Statistics don't lie. Statistically, it is shown that women that wear makeup in the workplace, they earn more money and they get promotions. The same thing is the same thing with weight. The same thing with weight. They did a study showing that an obese woman earns $9,000 less than a woman that they would deem to be non-obese. Your looks are impacting your money. Your looks are 1000% impacting your money. You're going to make more money when you look good. Point blank, period. We live at the end of the day, we live in a system where they want to simultaneously reward women while shaming us for doing it. So you want to pay us more money when we look good while simultaneously attacking us because we look good. But yeah, you reward us looking good and you pay us more money. This is the reason why I say you might as well look good. You might as well not shrink yourself because you're going to get rewarded in some form or fashion based off of you looking good. If it means that I have to deal with a little bit of, if I got to deal with some harassment and I got to deal with some shit talking and I got to deal with some haters, oh well, so be it. Oh well, so be it. But at the end of the day, it's even statistically proven. When you're a woman, the expectation is for you to look good and they reward you looking good. Point blank, period. It's people that get mad at the fact that you are reaping benefits because you look good. That's the issue. Because you're actually using the benefit of knowing, hey, when I look good, I get more money. When I look good, I get promoted. When I look good, I can get away with more. It's the people that are mad at the fact that you are getting rewarded a benefit because of it. She said, learned about human behavior that day. Maybe I believed everybody is a nice human, blah, blah, blah. 1,000%. 1,000%. And that's another harsh reality. Most people are not nice. The world is a stage. Most people know how to perform niceness, but most people are not nice. It's a performance. It's 1,000% a performance. Everyone knows how to do the pleasantries so people perceive them as nice. Everybody knows that. Internally, most people are not nice. And so at the end of the day, I'm always out understanding that there are people that are going to see me as a threat. There are people that are going to be intimidated to me. Like, I'm going back to work. I already know how my first day of work is going to be. How it's going to be. I already know how my first day of work is going to be. I'm already mentally prepared on how it's going to be. It just is going to be what it is. Low key, this is why I don't like being alive, period. LMAO. I should not have to participate in this effing rat race in all aspects of life. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1000%. I feel the exact same way because in my head, I'm just like, life shouldn't have to be this difficult. Life shouldn't have to be this difficult where you have to sit here and have a strategy for every situation that you're going to be in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Also, a study said humans assume you are much more intelligent and capable if you are good looking and healthy. Do you think nursing have especially catty women? Here's the thing. Under patriarchy, women are supposed to be competing with other women. So whenever you have a group of women, it's going to be competitive because under patriarchy, men don't have to compete with one another, right? Because men are prioritized as the prize. So men get to be ugly, men get to be broke, men get to be abusive, men get to be terrible people. But because they're a man, that's the reward that we get. You just getting a man is a reward, and women are supposed to compete with one another by getting a man, and you do this by also fitting the male standard. So women are already in a they're already in a male standard mind or a male centered mind. So when women see a woman that is beautiful, subconsciously they don't understand that the reason why they feel threatened is because they're looking at it from a male centered lens. I don't care if a woman is beautiful. Like it doesn't intimidate me if a woman is beautiful. And the thing about it is that if there is a woman that I have a little bit of jealousy for, okay, the reason why I have a little bit of jealousy is because she possesses something that I don't have and that I don't have naturally. I am legit jealous of women that are curvaceous and they're naturally curvaceous because I would love to be curvaceous. I would love to be curvaceous. I only have one of two options. I get on somebody's surgery table. Well, I have three options. I get on somebody's surgery table. I do the best that I can naturally to create some type of curve for myself. Or number three, I just accept the fact that I just don't have that body. Like point blank period. Jealousy is a normal emotion. It's just a compass for you to try to figure out, okay, the reason why I feel like this is because it's actually what I want and I realize that I don't possess it. How far somebody goes to that is when you go into envy and people try to sabotage you and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that cattiness, it really just comes from all those women being male centered because in their brain, they're like, oh, she fits the beauty standard. And men want the beauty standard because what we deem to be a beauty standard has literally been created through the lens of a male. It's been created through the lens of a white male as to what we deem beautiful. So that line of thinking, of course, like when you're male centered, it's going to be a big, 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 big deal. It's going to be a huge, huge deal. Exactly. Exactly. So it's like at the end of the day, it's like when you're not male centered, you tend to not care about those things. Like I'm not gonna sit over here and make someone feel bad about themselves because they're curvaceous just simply because I'm not curvaceous. No, like girl, you look good. You look great. You look amazing. Like like I'm always going to compliment somebody when I see somebody. Like if you look good, you look good. There need not be any competition. For what? What are we competing for? Oh, that's right. A man and male attention. That's what we're competing for. Like, no. When you don't value that stuff anymore, you don't even see what the hype is all about. Like, I'm gonna compete and get mad at a woman because she's in a better predicament to get male attention. It's not that serious. Mm-hmm. Is it normal to be lonely at 22 years old? I mean, I'm really pretty. I feel like I'm left out, but at the same time, I'm used to it. I feel like it's normal. I was alone at 22. I was alone at 22. I've been alone most of my life. I'm the only child, and I'm the oldest child out of my generation of cousins. So and I was raised the only child, and I'm the firstborn with a significant gap in my generation of cousins. So I'm alone in the most form that you could be alone. And then I went to a predominantly white high school and middle school. So I was pretty much alone in that too. After a while, you get used to it. You do. After a while, you get used to it. And even with body types, I'm still always going to value muscle. So I overall love my body. I just wish I didn't hold weight in my stomach, especially in my lower stomach. I just wish I didn't hold weight there. But overall, I'd say about 95% of my body. Yeah, I like it. I just don't like my genetic predisposition on where I hold weight. Let me give y'all an update. Let me give y'all an update on my decoy ring. So I went to the grocery store this morning because it's time for me to get some groceries because I'm in a new place. There were men that were looking at me, right? There were men that were looking at me, and I could tell that they wanted to approach me. So I could tell they were looking, and then they would look and they saw the ring, they went. I talked about it on TikTok. I don't know if I misheard. I don't know if I misheard this man, but I could have sworn this man that worked at the grocery store today, he said, "Good morning, First Lady." I could have sworn he said, "Good morning, First Lady." I really hope I misheard him. But I could have sworn he said, "Good morning, First Lady." I was like, "First Lady? First Lady? First Lady of what?" The ring, this is how I feel, right? I have to have on a full face of makeup and I have to have my best foot forward. That way they know they can't even afford me and they really have to think twice. In the ring will set it off even more. It will set it off. It will set it off even more. Apparently, I'm Kamala Harris. Apparently, I'm Kamala Harris. But yeah, the men slow down. They slow down. And then I went to the gym this morning and I toured this gym. And there were men that were looking at me and I had my purse and I was like, because y'all know I got a Louis Vuitton. So I carry my bag the rich lady way. So hold on. So I carry my bag like this. So I was around the gym. And I was like, yeah, I carry the bag like this. So the ring was out in the open and I'm like, oh, okay, okay. So they were looking at me and then they were like, oh, okay. Cause y'all know I be attracting all the black men. Not all the black men. I didn't mean to say it like that, but y'all know what I mean. Y'all know that I be attracting black men, that I'm a preference for these damn black men. So the sprinkle of black men that were in the gym, they were looking, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, you can't afford me. In my head, I have a husband. And when I was grocery shopping this morning, I'm like, yep, my husband, he has a net worth of $600 million. My husband has a net worth of $600 million. That's what I was thinking in my brain while I was shopping when people were looking at me. You said, all right, queen, looking like a basketball player's wife. Imagine if I had my fur coat on. Imagine if I had my fur coat on and this ring and that. Y'all, they definitely would have thought I was a basketball wife. They definitely would have thought I was a basketball wife. Because I give bougie to most of them anyway. I do. I give bougie to most of them anyway. I was just about to bring the fur coat up. Girl, that fur coat would have had them frozen in time. She said people always treat me like a trophy. Even men don't ask me to be in a relationship with them at 22 years old. Yes, because you're pretty. When you're really, really pretty, men ain't gonna take you seriously anyway. Honestly, men are not gonna take you all that serious when you're really, really, really pretty. In my experience, when you're a really pretty woman, a lot of men only want to deal with you because they want to reassure them of their self-esteem. They want to reassure themselves of their own value. And so they will want to be able to do that by seeing how close proximity they can be to a pretty woman. This is like with P. Diddy, if you guys watch The Reckoning, this is the reason why P. Diddy was trying to steal everybody else's girl. So like when he found out that Kim Porter was with Al B. Sure, his goal was to take Kim from Al B. Sure, because we've all seen pictures of P. Diddy when he was younger. He was weird looking. Okay. He was very, very awkward looking, and he wasn't that dude. And so he wanted to base his value and he wanted to base his self-esteem and his value as a man based off of based off of how in close proximity he could be to a pretty woman. And when a man of high value had that woman and he could take her from that high value man, that's going to pump up his self-esteem even more, because he not only will feel good enough to get that woman, but then he'll feel better than the high value man that he took her from. So that's what a lot of men will do. They'll only want to be with a pretty woman because they're like, oh, well, I was able to pull a pretty woman, or I was able to sleep with a pretty woman. So that means that I am a worthy man. That means that I'm a valuable man. Sugar wanted to see me last Friday and he canceled. He said he wants to see me today, but he didn't text. He probably wants me to reach out, but I feel tired of him. Should I just ghost? Yeah. The last sugar daddy that I had, that's what I had. He would say like, "Oh yeah, I want to see you," and then he canceled. And then literally the day that we were supposed to hang out, he never texted me. And so I was like, "You want to know what? Maybe he found somebody else." Maybe he just found somebody else. And by that time, I'm like, I was relieved anyway. She said, "In his mouth doesn't ever fully shut." I got called the Queen of England for wearing sunglasses at the petrol station by a man blocking them out. I'm hollering. They would have needed an exorcist with your fur coat, girl. I would have had to start giving CPR to all the men. My husband is keyword for bank account. Advice for women in their early 20s: girl, get money and make money off of your beauty. Focus a lot on your money, on your beauty, in ways that you can make money off your beauty. Like I'm really, really big on women that are young making money off their beauty. Like screw dating and all that stuff. Why be focused on dating and getting money from one man when you could focus on using your beauty to get money from multiple men by like working in nightlife and like using your beauty to some extent, like being a bottle girl or being a waitress at like a fine dining place. You know what I mean? Like using your beauty to make money in getting an education in your 20s, like, in my opinion, I just kind of feel like that's like the cheat code. And then while you're doing that, you can meet men and you can make connections with them. Like, to me, it's just a very easy way to social climb too when you're young. Yep, a man in Georgia threw acid on a pretty woman walking in the park. I hope this doesn't become a trend. That's terrible. That is terrible. Oh, wow, this legit just happened. It says woman 46 severely burned by unknown chemical attack by random stranger in Georgia Park. It says Ashley Wasilewski was severely burned in a chemical attack. It says that she's receiving treatment for second and third degree burns after suffering injuries to over 50% of her body. Oh my God, that's terrible. Um, yeah. Scythe Park in Savannah when a man poured a corrosive chemical on her. She ran immediately across the street in EMS. Wow, that's crazy. That is terrible. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Poor thing. That's awful. Oh my God. And they have a picture of her, and her face is like all covered up. Yeah, that is crazy. That's insane. Mhm. It's so scary being a woman. Like, it's so, so scary being a woman. Can women just create our own cities? I'm so tired. Me too. Honestly, I'm so tired. Shira said if you're a really pretty woman, you should tone it down because they think you don't need them. Should I do that? I mean, if you really, really want to get a man and use him for his money, yeah. Like, that is insane. We saw beautiful women being attacked in the metro in the US too. Women set on fire, stabbed, etc. Crazy. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. This is, and the thing that sucks, like, this is the thing that I can't stand so much. It really does suck because the level of vigilance that you have to have, the amount of vigilance that you have to have when it comes to like I hate taking public transit. I hate taking public transit. I don't do any shopping. I don't do any shopping at peak hours. No shopping at peak hours. This is why I actually like to stay indoors on the weekends. I don't go to parks anymore. Like, I don't go in any isolated area anymore at all. It's like ridiculous because you can't even live a full life. You can't even live a full life, especially here in the United States as a woman. Yep, I go shopping when it first opens. Yep, same. I wake up super early and go shopping. Like, the level of vigilance that I started having to take. Yes, go to the nice side of town, less harassment. Agreed. Agreed. Yep, I don't get on public transit anymore. Yeah, I do all of that stuff. I do all of that stuff. And yeah, if you live in a not so nice area, just make sure that you do everything in a nice area. You do all your shopping in a nice area. I'm bougie. Child, I don't even have myself living in non bougie areas. I try to do all I need to during work hours during the week or only go to the nice spot of time. Yep. Nope. To parks, public places during peak hours. Right. Shop with the elderly. They're up early and in the shops too. Yep. Get all of my gas in the morning. All my grocery shopping is done early in the morning. I don't do, nope. I don't do any of that stuff. I wanted to cuss him out, but I didn't want to appear as an angry black woman. Oh my God, girl, don't cry. Don't cry. I had a man harass me in the DMV the day before Thanksgiving. I was replacing my ID, and he said was trying to say I wouldn't look good without my hair and makeup. Child, these men are baby. She said, "Baby, you couldn't pay me to live in urban areas or where it's dusty field, girl." Say that again. Say that again. I'm sorry. This is why I'm big on women making a lot of money. I'm big on women making a lot of money because there is a level of money that you must have in order to pay for safety. As a woman especially, you have to pay for safety. That's like a very harsh reality, but as a woman, you have to pay for safety. A lot of men don't care about living in the hood. A lot of men don't care about living in the hood because they know that men are typically threatened by other men. But when you're a woman living in the hood and you're a woman living in a bad part of town, girl, it's just so much easier for you to be a victim because a man isn't going to be threatened. A man isn't going to be threatened by you. So I've been like that my whole life. I'm sorry. I'm not mm-mm, I'm like, you gotta make sure that you have enough money so that way you can pay to be in a safe area. I turned down a guy's advances at work now. He's going around saying I'm weird. So tired of these males. It's like, oh my God. People are very rampant with their thoughts, racism. I was literally caught off guard, child. Yeah, it really is at a point where it's like, yeah, this is a reason why I just outwardly started acting like a psycho. Y'all saw that video of me barking at that man. I just started barking at him. I just started barking at him. I'm at the point now where it's just like, man. Oh yeah, people are absolutely losing it. People mentally, no one is well. Mentally, nobody is freaking well right now. A lot of people are going through it right now, and it's gonna get a lot it's gonna get a lot worse. This is why y'all make sure y'all spiritual hygiene is make sure y'all get some crystals, get your obsidian, your tourmaline, all that stuff. Like just make sure you yeah. I've done it before and paid the price, but I'm safe. Yeah, I'd rather someone call me a weirdo. Yeah, I'm in Brazil because my mom died and my brother came here a week ago and emptied my mom and grandma's bank account, blocked me, and left her with nothing. Ooh, child. I am so sorry to hear that. That's crazy. That's crazy. And yeah, I carry ladies, I tell y'all all the time, if you live in a state where you can have a firearm, please get a firearm. Please get a firearm. The last thing that a man is ever expecting looking at a woman is the fact that she has a piece of steel. It's one of the last things that he's ever expecting. Please get you a piece of steel. And if you are in a state where you can't, um, I told y'all before, a tube sock with some rocks in it, or even like a little mini hammer, it's enough to do blunt force. It is. It's enough to do blunt force that will help. And also don't forget any pressure points that you can have. Always remember men have an outward reproductive system. That's the good thing. They have an outward reproductive system. So um just yeah, you can kick them in the balls, and you can also you can get them in the eyeballs too. So don't forget, like, yeah, don't forget and bite them too. Bite them too. If somebody try to grab you, always go towards the thumb side. And yeah. What about tasers and mace? Any advice? I have both of those. I have both of those. I would get all that. And yeah, I do hear that bear mace is better than regular mace because I think you can shoot it at a further distance. And I also heard that like it's a lot stronger. Yeah, unless it's a carpenter who knows your brother and can ish with your brother, even then, probably not worth it. I had a weird man steal my shirt at a library. I laid my shirt down to save my spot at a computer. That's super weird. That is super weird. Like, oh, it's to the point now where it's like, bet you if you put poop spray, if you put that stinky spray, that poop stinky spray, I bet you if you put that on that sweater, he wouldn't have done anything. Guys, what about that trad wife trend? Are people really into that lifestyle trying to be? They're really trying to perpetuate that and push that because they really don't want women in the workforce and they want to have things go back to the way that they used to be. And women are tired of being a girl boss, but I mean, you're going to get tired of being a trad wife too. They make it so that in this life you're going to be tired. In the chat is fun, and I make sure that I do my best to keep it drama free. Like there was just some weirdo in here not too long ago. I blocked their ass. If I pick up a rock, does that mean I'm a good person? Yeah, that's a man. That's a man. 1,000% a man saying dumb shit like that. Like 1,000% a man. Like I could just tell. I could tell off of their username. I could tell off how they type. I could tell right away it's a man. I blocked them. This is what's so funny. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, how come things can't be like how they used to be, or like how come women don't want to cook and clean and stuff like that?" Well, because we need money. Like we would actually need money to be able to stay home and cook and clean. You're not going to be able to afford your stay at home wife. Like what? But then simultaneously, they want you to go 50-50, while simultaneously saying that they don't care about your degree and they don't care about what income that you're making. So it's like, which one is it? Because how can I go 50-50 if I'm not working? And then if you say that you don't care about my degree, well, if I have a degree and I'm only making $30,000 a year and you're over here making $70,000 a year, then you're going to sit here and say I'm not contributing enough to the household because I'm not making enough from the degree that I have that you claim that you don't care about. So it's like which one are we supposed to be doing? My ex-husband basically wanted me to be a trad wife while I was the breadwinner and he was doing his PhD. Screw that. He's an ex for a reason. Um, my ex-husband basically wanted me my ex-husband basically wanted me, see, like, why are they making more than one account? Like, what is wrong with these people? Yes, I believe most of these trad wives earn a salary from the platform. I think lost women that do it for free without a platform are trying to find purpose or have a personality. And that's a good point. I think people forget I think people forget the simple fact that people that are telling you or they're glamorizing or showing the lifestyle, they're making money from the platform. So are you really a trad wife when you're making money promoting content of being a trad wife? It's like they're still making money from the content. Like, what? Like, why can't men be this committed to becoming the next, like, Elon Musk? Like, the time that would be taken to, like, make new profiles and, like, do all of this stuff, come on, like, I swear to God, the time is gonna be so much more well spent, so much more well spent, you, like, trying to make $1,000,000, like, I promise, like, I'm not worth anything to be making multiple profiles for, like, I'm really not. What's your thought on dating and marrying men with kids? No. You're adding more labor. You're adding more labor because at the end of the day, if you're dealing with a man that has kids, you're now going to be the main caregiver to his children. So now you're signing up to do more of the work. Mm-mm. I don't deal with men that have children. Well, first of all, I don't want children and I don't deal with men at all. But this is like, that was one of the reasons why I didn't. Like, first of all, I'm not motherly. Honestly, I'm not motherly. And so I'm not taking on any of that stuff. I'm not taking on any of that. I know. But I guess they're more committed and more committed to going out of their way. She said each child through a window. As a stay-at-home mom is when not only he but his whole family starts to bully you. Society is vicious against women. Yeah, the thing about it is that at that point you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it at that point. Did you all see the video of the woman who her husband is divorcing her and her name is not on anything and she hasn't worked a job in 10 years and she's not, I guess she's saying that like she's not getting anything. I don't think it's like reached like a judge or a court or anything like that, but yeah. Oh, and she signed a prenup that entitles her to nothing. Imagine imagine taking a chance that big on love. Imagine taking a chance that big on love, that you signed a prenup and you're a stay-at-home mom and you haven't worked in 10 years and the prenup entitles you to nothing in the chance of divorce. That is insane. I will never take a chance on love ever, especially to that capacity. She also has no money to feed her kids or pay for a lawyer. Like, that's insane. That is absolutely insane to just sign away your livelihood. Literally signing away your livelihood for love. That's insane. Mm-mm. No love is that strong enough. No love is that strong enough where I would sit here and sign away my livelihood and my survival. And that's the issue too. That's the issue too. It's just always this insinuation that a lot of women have that it's gonna last forever. Nothing lasts forever. I haven't talked about Candy yet. I have not talked about Candy yet. I haven't. And it's crazy because I have a few videos on TikTok and I have like a ton of saved videos from like that little podcast thing that they were doing when Todd was saying all his ridiculous stuff. But I haven't talked about it yet. But he definitely is trying to get full custody of those children because he wants her to pay him out child support. Mm-hmm. Candy knew Ty was trash. She was desperate. She really wanted to be married. Thankfully, she wasn't stupid and she got a prenup to protect her financially, but once you have kids, once you have children, it'll get a little bit dicey. And like maybe not so much now, but even Ebony K. Williams talked about it. Even Ebony K. Williams said that that's the reason why she did what she did as far as like going through like IVF or whatever or sperm donor or however she did it. I don't know the exact way, but cutting out the legit middleman in order for her to be able to have a child. And that's the reason why she says she did it that way, because she's like, even with a prenup, if I have a child with a man and then it doesn't work out with me and that man, the man would be able to say like, oh, well, she travels for work. She's very busy at work. Like, because even she says she has a nanny for her child. And so he could very well use that against her in court and be like, see, like she can't be present for the family. She can't be there for her child like she needs to be. So, you know, you will have people, you'll go on ahead and you'll have obviously that to deal with. And she had even said, she said that she didn't even want to take the chance. She didn't even want to take the chance on doing that. So, yep. Mistress. I didn't know she had a mistress. Who's that? I just saw this guy talking about how he's been married for 10 years and has been cheating for 5 years. He said he went to massage parlor. Oh, yeah, that black guy. I know. I saw. Was it the black guy? I think it was. He said he went to massage parlors for $50 a pop and did it 950 times. That's $47,000. I I think I think that's the same video that I watched. The public offender covered it too. Yeah, a public offender covered that video too. I was like, dude, you kept going to massage parlors and you cheated for 5 years. Like insane. And the thing about it is that black guy, he wasn't even bad looking. That's what's even funnier. He wasn't even bad looking. And the thing about it is that the thing about it is that that goes to show you how like even a fairly attractive man, the amount of labor that goes into men being able to cheat and the amount of labor that goes into being able to spend money, manipulate women. I didn't think he looked that bad. Like, honestly, I didn't think he looked that bad. When I say that bad, I personally don't think that he looked so bad that he had to be paying for schmecks at a massage parlor. Like, and he's pretty young. He's pretty young. So my thing about it is that, like, dude, you could have did this on a dating app for free. So, but my point is, hear me out. What my point is that even when men, even with men that actually could have a chance of just cheating for free on a dating app, it's not even worth them putting in the labor and the money of cheating. So a lot of them will just have the guarantee of just paying for it. So this is why when women are like, why are these men paying for it? Because they don't want to deal with the labor and how expensive it is to potentially only have the chance to cheat. She said, or he could have gone home to his wife. Girl, that was never happening. And he claims that he doesn't cheat anymore. To me, it's just pandering. And I'm sorry, as soon as men start talking about some Jesus and the Lord saved me, and I don't want to be this man anymore, and Jesus is the reason why I'm not this man anymore. In my opinion, is pandering for them to get social media, for them to get praise on social media, and for them to build a following. I feel like that's like the I feel like that's always like the pandering line. Like currently it is like, oh, I was this broken man and I was this lustful spirit and the demon of the devil was in me and making me lustful. And now, now that I found God and I found the Lord, like I've rebuked all that and that I've worked on having that spirit leave me and yada yada yada. Ciao. I feel like whenever men are doing that, they're doing it strictly for the coin. They're saying that stuff strictly for the coin. Uh-huh. Yeah. Also, it was their anniversary when he posted the video. Like, and that's another thing too. It's like women, this is one reason why I'll never want to get married because no matter what, as a wife, you always have to be the subject of embarrassment in regards to your husband. You always have to be the subject of embarrassment with your husband. And you just have to be like, well, that's my husband. Like, that's what you have to chalk it up to. Just like play it off and joke about it and laugh about it, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that's what you have to do at that point. Like God was the keychain he lost. Yeah. It's like you've been cheating for 5 years and you woke up one day and was like, "I'm gonna quit cheating," and you've invested $47,000 into cheating. That's crazy. That's crazy. Once you've invested that much into cheating, you're just gonna keep on cheating, I feel like. Like, I'm sorry, God is not a large enough incentive. Hell is not a large enough incentive for these men to give into their flesh. 'Cause in a lot of men's mind, they're like, "Well, I'll just repent after." The massage parlors must have all shut down the same damn day. I'm hollering. I am hollering. Mm-mm-mm. I'm telling you, the ring, I was paying attention. I was paying attention. I'm like, "Okay, the social experiment has begun. What are we getting? What are we getting? What are we picking up from these people?" And that's what it was giving. I was like, "Oh, yeah, they're kinda thinking twice. They're looking twice and they're noticing. Yeah, I think I may be onto something. I think I may be onto something." I don't think so either, June Buggy. I don't think so either, and, I think another reason why that's not gonna happen is because they've built capitalism won't be able to survive without women working. It's not. Capitalism is not going to, right? So, yeah, I kinda look at it like, okay, they have women as the people that own the most homes. So if that were to happen, home ownership, like that's going to cease to exist. And then they also have women admitted the most in college. So then that's going to cease to exist. And then the level of consumerism that we have within these companies, like women spend women's well, technically men have the most amount of credit card debt, women have the most student loan debt, but women do drive the economy with their level of consumerism. And so that would cease to exist. Um, I don't remember what college it was, but get this, this is pretty funny. So there's a college and they're doing all of the stuff with like DEI and all this stuff. Well, there's a college and like the college is doing what they're supposed to be doing, honoring DEI, but the issue is that because of that, they're not going to be able to allow as many men into the university as they were, because based off of DEI, they have so many women applicants that they had to kind of make a concession to have more male applicants than they normally would, to kind of make it as even as they possibly could. Now that they stripped away DEI, the college isn't going to be admitting as many men into the college anymore because they now don't have to honor DEI. I don't remember what university it is. She said, "Do you think Erica Kirk is sad about her husband? She seems to be moving on easily." Child, she probably set it up, allegedly. Let me say allegedly. Yeah, so that's the reason why I don't think this is the reason why I don't think that any of that stuff is happening, because even with what they did with like the degrees, like did you all see what they're doing with the degrees? So like pretty much most of like the female dominated fields, they're no longer considering them as a professional degree. So things like nursing, I think like sociology, psychology, they're not allowing it to be a professional degree anymore, meaning that like you're not going to be able to get as much money from the government with like your loans. And so um even with that, the way I look at it is this: well, guess what? We'll just have more female doctors. Like we're going to have more female doctors, because at the end of the day, I look at it like this: putting all of these concessions and these rules and stuff like that, it's not going to make men want to go to college more. It's not. It's not going to make men wake up one day and say, you want to know what? They're not considering nursing to be a professional degree. So I'm going to start going to college. No, it just means that women are probably just going to start going and just going the full distance to get the degrees that they consider to be professional, even if it means, hey, I'll have to take out more money in loans. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, all of this stuff that they're doing, it's not going to make men want to go to college. It's not going to make men to want to earn a more living. So because that's what they're in their brain, they're thinking that that's going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like they legit don't want to go. Most of them have associated education with being feminine, so they're not going to go. So at the end of the day, like I don't really I don't really think it's going to make all that big of a deal. And it's not like men are going to start going into those professions that they consider to be quote unquote non-professional. So in my opinion, the logic with that was just stupid. Mhm. Oh, I won't be able to go to this class. Yeah, I won't be able to go to this class because I have to work on that day. That stinks. Mhm. We are already short-staffed in hospitals, it's gonna get worse. Yeah. It's 1000% gonna get worse. And what's so crazy to me is, like, I feel like it's another example of, like, patriarchy hurting even men. Like, I would like to say that, like, a lot of the admissions and things like that, men tend to not prioritize their health. Like, a lot of the hospitals with inpatient, oh my god, the men, like, they're gonna be the ones suffering the most because they tend to not take care of themselves as much. They're gonna be the ones suffering. Thank you. Mhm. So it's like, all right, so now you don't want people working in the sector of your own health and taking care of you. Okay, good luck. Good luck because they're not doing the things to prevent themselves from coming there to coming in the hospital. So, ay ay ay. Ay ay ay. Crazy, crazy, silly, silly little rabbits. Silly little rabbits. I think healthcare jobs should have a free education. You want enough doctors, right? Like, hello. And they're making it harder for non-US citizens to be doctors. Do you want us to die? Or, oh, 1000%, they want people to die. And then if they want you to live, they want you to die earlier and sooner by being so stressed out, by having to pay off like medical debt and stuff like that. Like, either you either you die a slow death by paying off your debt, or you just die because there's not going to be enough people. It's not going to be enough people. And honestly, so when I first wanted to go to college, I actually wanted to become a physician. I actually wanted to become a doctor. Thank God I never did that. Thank God I never did that. There are so many things that they don't tell you about. So, like, I had no idea that as a doctor, like, because I would always hear like match day, like match day. Okay, that's the specialty that like they choose for you to go into. And if they don't match you with the specialty that you wanted to go into, you're pretty much stuck going into the specialty that they match you in. So if I wanted to go to school to become a nephrologist working on kidneys, and they decided to match me with like cardiothoracic surgery or something like that, then I would be forced to do cardiothoracic surgery. I would be forced to do that. But they're saying that there's like a large shortage in cardiothoracic. It's like a large shortage. And I guess the reason why they did that was because they didn't want, I guess they do it on purpose because they don't want one specialty of a physician. Like, they don't want a ton. They don't want it to be uneven. They don't want it to be unbalanced. My mom's a nurse. My mom's a nurse. I work in imaging. I never wanted to be a nurse, but I work in medical. My ex is a doctor and he didn't handle the pressure well, got a DUI and laid off. Yeah, like, mm-mm. I barely can handle imaging. Mm-mm. Being a doctor, no. No, not for me. I'm so glad I didn't go that route. So glad. Maybe that's an advantage of having a man who can't afford doctors. At least the man doesn't live too long. True. True. I love it. She said I went to sales equity and she was like, I'm getting me a daddy of sugar. I don't blame you. I used to be an MA working on cardiothoracic surgery. I work from home now. People are exhausting. You made me look into imaging. Yeah, like honestly, for me, like imaging honestly isn't bad. And like you don't have to have a you don't have to have like a whole lot of patient interaction. You don't. It's pretty quick for the most part. It's pretty quick. Um and then even an MRI where the exams are longer, they have to be still. They can't talk to you during the exam anyway. So an MRI techs make really, really good money and it's very minimal patient interaction. So you don't have to worry about that. The black widow spider bit the male head off. They don't need the male. See, like our species has been misled. Our species has been misled entirely, entirely misled. It's awful. Absolutely awful how misled we've been. Can't stand it. She said we have declined. I'm strong. I did bodybuilding for 3 years. Pretty sure pickle jars aren't gonna be an issue for me. Agreed. I know, right? I have to open the pickle jar. Oh no, I gotta get a man in here. I have to get a man in here. I need my pickle jar open. Oh my God. She said they have tools to open tight jars. And honestly, opening a jar is just logic. It's just logic. All you do is you just you push the bottom, and most of the time the jar is going to open because you would have broken the seal. You would have broken the seal to the jar, and then once you do that, the jar is going to open. It's just basic logic. Like y'all, imagine me coming up to a man and being like, "Can you open my pickle jar? Can you open my pickle jar now? Can you open my pickle jar now?" Open my pickle jar now. Like I would just be screaming. Yeah, I did figure. I did figure. I did bikini before that, but yeah, I did figure after. Cause I was already really, really developed. I was really, really developed into bikini because I was a gymnast. I was a gymnast for over a decade. And then I also did competitive cheerleading for over a decade. So I had a lot of muscle on me. And so like I already had like a hamstring tie in. My back was already developed. Like my lats were very developed and all that. So that wasn't an issue for me. And so I didn't even get the feedback. I didn't even get the feedback, but then I was like, "Oh, yeah," cuz my coach at the time, he was like, "I think you should do figure." And I'm like, "No, like I don't want to do figure. Like I don't want to be like super big or whatever." And then when I did my first bikini competition, I remember being in the back and I was like next to all the other bikini girls and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I don't look anything like these girls." I was like, "I'm way more developed than they are with my musculature." So then I went on ahead and I went back for figure. I'll never do a show again either. I'll never do a show again either. Cause ooh, that was hard. It was hard, and looking back, I don't regret it. I definitely don't regret it, but I think the one thing with bodybuilding shows is just kind of like once it's all done. Yeah, I ended up getting binge eating disorder. It's just too much. It's just too much. I'm not cut out to do something like that long term. I'm not. It's not for me. Oh my God, those last 4 weeks, I g I literally gained so for the second show, I gained so much weight. I gained so much weight. No plastic surgery, and I look like I'm 32, like, I have wrinkles, like, I do have wrinkles, but no, I look 32. I feel like I look 32. But no plastic surgery, no Botox or any of that stuff. None of that. I just kinda feel like if you start getting that stuff done at, like, a very young age, you're not going to be able to see how your face really starts to age for you to actually start doing the corrective stuff. Like if I started getting Botox and stuff right now, I wouldn't know how my face is going to age. And so then at that point, that's when you have all these celebrities and they're looking super inflated, and the reason being is because when you start Botox so young, then once you get older, you gotta when you're filling everything, you gotta keep filling everything. Because at that point, now you filled everything and you're gonna be deflated. You're gonna be deflated the moment that you stop filling everything. So for me personally, I I just was kind of like, But yeah, I don't smoke, I don't drink. Um I eat semi-healthy. Someone asked what I was eating earlier. This protein brownie, because I didn't feel like making any breakfast because I had so much stuff to do this morning. Um, and honestly, it really wasn't all that great, and it was really honestly too sweet, but it has 20 grams of protein in there. So, yeah, exactly. She said, I feel if your face isn't dragging against the sidewalk, you don't need anything. My exact sentiments. My exact sentiments, like, unless your face is looking like Trick Daddy's face, I don't really think you need anything. I used to be puffing a lot, like, a lot, but I started smoking late because I was very averse to smoking, and my body did not like it, like, oh my god, the level of paranoia that I had, and there were some times where I just would smoke too much and I started throwing up. Oh, and the edibles, I would start throwing up. So I was real averse to even doing it. And then eventually I started realizing like, oh, okay, I need to like I need to like go back, you know? So yeah, I went on ahead and then I started smoking and then it was so bad. I couldn't even go to sleep without doing it. And I was like, yeah, I need to stop. So I haven't smoked in a long time. The devil's lettuce, not cigarettes. I oh god, I really hated those. I smoked like 3 cigarettes in my whole life socially, and I was like, I would really have to force myself. I would really have to force myself. Really, really have to force myself. And water. Water, sleep, water, sleep. Um, oh my god, my dad. Listen to this salad that my dad made up. Listen to this freaking salad that my dad made up. And it is so good. It is so good. Okay. So I got a chopper today because I'm gonna start making the salad because it's so good. So when I came home, my dad was like, "There's this huge salad in the refrigerator if you want to try it." Because like my dad's love language is definitely like through food. Like my dad definitely can cook and he likes to cook, and he likes to cook for me or like give me food that he cooked. So he had this salad that he made. It was so good. So it's kale and it's like chopped up. So you could either use a chopper or you could use a food processor. And you chop it up like super super fine. Super 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 fine. So it's kale, red apple, green apple, yellow pepper, orange pepper, lime, and you chop up everything really, really, really little, like really, really thin, really, really, really little. Like it's very like finely chopped. Like you know how chimichurri looks, the green sauce. It's kind of like that, and it kind of sort of tastes like chimichurri, but there's no oil in it. He made that salad, and so today I got every single thing to make that salad. I took every single thing to make that salad, and I'm gonna fucking make it later because it was so, so good. It was so, 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 so good. She said it is nasty AF, try it at once. She said smoking is disgusting. Started at 36, F and hate it and need to stop. I developed ANO when I was smoking heavily and dropped to 86 pounds. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. Yeah, that stuff had me paranoid. I was like, okay, we gotta cut this out. We gotta cut this out. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. Okay, I'm gonna stay on here for like 10 more minutes and then I'm getting off of here. Then I'm getting off of here. Are you guys glad that I'm back? I mean, I was on here a couple days ago, but obviously, like, I took a little bit of a hiatus. I did. I took a little bit of a hiatus. 25 days is a long time. 25 days is a super, super long time. Unblock my other account, please. No. No. Because why do you have to cut? Why do you have to get this way before you're silly? Like why do you have to behave a certain way and then you have to get blocked for you to like not behave another way and then keep making other accounts? Because honestly, I really, really want to block this account too that you're on. I really, really want to block this account too that you're on because why? Tubule salad is good. Tubule salad is super, super good. That sounds so good. That does. That sounds so good. Do, 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 do. Davina! Hey girl, welcome back. I swear to God, every single time I think about you, I manifest you back into the chat. I swear to God, every time I think of you, when I think of you in between my last live stream, I swear to God, you come back in the chat on the next live stream every single time. Dang, you are late, girl, and I'm about to be getting off of here soon. Like, no. That's what I love about being single and childless. Eat what you want when you want, not at the mercy of anyone but my stomach. LOL. This is why when I dated, I don't know what it was, but I kind of feel as though I kind of feel as though when I deal with men, for whatever reason, I like men that don't ever want to eat. My longest relationship was with a man that did not like eating. He was like, "No, I'm too busy to eat. I'm too busy to eat. I'm wasting time eating." So I was like, "Yes, yes. Means I don't have to cook for you." I don't want to. I've never liked dealing with a man that wanted to eat. My last ex, he liked to eat a lot, and I was so afraid because he used to be severely overweight, and he already was overweight when we were dealing with each other. And I saw the way that he was eating, and I was like, he's gonna blow up again. He's gonna blow up again, and I'm not gonna be attracted to him. But I'm sorry, there's no love. I, I don't have enough love in my heart to look past my physical attraction for someone. I'm sorry. The only thing that will allow me to look past physical attraction is money. That's it. Money, I'll be able to look past not having a physical attraction, but not love. I'm sorry. I'm not going to love you so much that you can gain a shit ton of weight. And I just saw the way that he was eating, and I was like, mm-mm. Mm-mm. The way that his habits are, these was the same habits that got him into being like 300 something pounds. I can't do it. Can't do it. Mm-mm. Can't do it. So yeah, I ended that relationship. I ended that relationship because you want to know what? If the shoe were on the other foot, if the shoe were on the other foot, like one thing about me, when I'm in a relationship, I keep myself up. Not for the man, but for myself. Like it's just a value system of mine that like I can't let myself go. I'm very vain. So just for my own standard of living, I have to keep myself up. That is the standard I have for myself. I don't believe in keeping yourself up for your partner. Your level of maintenance that you have shouldn't be reliant on another person. It should be reliant on how you perceive yourself and how you look at yourself. And me personally, mm-mm, mm-mm. I throw 2 eggs in my air fryer for 10 and voila, girl, me with chicken thighs, me with salmon. Girl, the air fryer hate to see me coming. I tried to date a fat guy. Try something different too. It did disgust me. I had to let it go. I was like, And I would see him eat. Oh, I would see him eat, and he was just so, it was just so gluttonous. He was just so gluttonous. And it really, it really just, There's a reason why rich men are often, yeah. And the thing about it is that this guy had money. He actually did. He actually had money, and he actually was spending money on me because I'm not dealing with someone that's not spending money on me. That's not ever happening. So like I said, the money, I'll look past it, and the money was there. Like the money was there and he was spending it on me. So I was able to look past it, but like I said before, long term, I was just like, ooh, he's gonna blow up again. He's gonna blow up again. Because you know how men look at women like that. Like they look at women and they're like, how curvaceous she is or whatever. And they'll literally be like, oh yeah, like after she gives birth and has babies, like her body's done for. Like her body's done for. She's gonna blow up. Like she's not gonna be able to keep that body anymore once she ends up having birth, when she ends up giving birth. Was he non-black? Yeah, he was Mexican. He was Mexican. The only black men that are spending money on me are black men that are like 50 plus. 50 plus. Ain't no black man ain't no black man under 50 years old spending money on me. He was eating a lot of tortilla and taco. And the thing about it too is in my profession too, like a lot of Hispanics, they have a fatty liver, and it's because of all of like the deep frying and like oil and stuff like that that they have in their diet. So a lot of them have fatty livers. A lot of them have fatty livers. Yes, I like dating businessmen, and my dad is a businessman. I tend to like businessmen. I like men that are an entrepreneur. It's real with Hispanics. They eat a lot. Like his ass, oh my God, he would eat so much. Like I remember he took us to Mexico, and like as soon as we got like the little person to pick us up from the airport, he was like, oh, the guy was like, oh yeah, like we'll go to like a convenience store and you guys can like grab whatever it is that you want. And my ex-boyfriend, he grew up in Mexico. He's from Mexico City. And so he was like, oh yeah, like we're in Mexico, like I'm gonna get this, like I'm gonna get this. Like oh my God, he bought so many freaking snacks. And in my head, I'm like, I don't want to eat snacks. Like I don't want to eat snacks. I want to eat real food. I don't want to waste all my calories on convenience store crap. I want to use my calories on real food. So, I had a little bit of snacking, but he was going ham. He was going ham, and I was just looking at him like, "Mm." I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Oh, chow, I don't know." I was like, "I don't know about this. I don't know about this." And then could you imagine living with a man that ate a lot and then he would expect for you to cook for him? Like, imagine how much cooking you would have to do. Like, I'm small. I could go eat 2 eggs right now and I'll be good. I'll be good for a few hours, and then I'll just eat a piece of fruit, and then I'll be fine. But very happy it's over. Will not text him either. That's the best way to let a sugar daddy go. The ghost way. The ghost way. She said I would be so turned up. One time yeah, like one time he ate something and I was just like, "Oh my God." I recorded him eating because I was like, I have to look back at this. I have to look back at this and evaluate if I want to stay in this relationship or not. Ah. Are you a biological woman? No. I transitioned. I transitioned. I was born a man. I was born a man. My tits are fake. My uterus is fake. I have the best surgeon though. I have the best surgeon though. My surgeon is so good that he gave me a uterus and I can bleed out this thing. Can bleed out this thing. I'm bleeding out of it right now. I'm bleeding out of this thing right now. I got blood clots passing through my fake pussy as we speak. Even Nikita Dragon hit me up and was like, "Girl, I need your surgeon." She hit me up from jail. She was like, "Girl, I need your surgeon once I'm up out of here." I'm like, "Girl, I got you. Girl, I got you." It's all fake. All of it. All of it. I had my jaw reconstructed on. Like my jaw, like all of this was I had all of this. All of this was jaw, and I had them chisel all of that away. have them chisel that way. And honestly, you could kind of tell you could kind of tell, listen, you can kind of tell I was trans. Like you can kind of tell I was trans. Like I got some muscle on me still. Like you could tell I'm trans. I got a little bit of muscle still. I got a little bit of muscle still. The estrogen shots ain't, they can't get rid of my muscle and my traps or whatever, but these are fake. These are fake. I think having trans allegations is the best compliment. Having trans allegations is quite literally the best compliment because every time I see a trans woman, I'm like, damn, she looks good. Like when I look at trans women, I'm like, nice, nice. They be putting the makeup on, honey. So that means that my makeup skills that means my makeup skills are good. Shira would say you are looking for a trans. I need to go to Thailand. I need to go to Thailand so that way them American men that come to Thailand and give me some money. And then they're gonna look down in between my legs and they're gonna be like, what? What? You're a full trans? Like, yup. She said they're hair implants. Okay, so I saw a video with Dr. Miami, and Dr. Miami did a video, and he was like, he said when men get surgery, but they call it looks maxing, but yet they're doing the same thing that they've shamed against women for centuries. Like when women get it, it's surgery, and we're looking for validation. But when men do it, it's looks maxing. I just saw this article just now that said EPA proposes looser formaldehyde cancer. Yeah, I saw that. I think I talked about that on one of the live streams. I think I talked about that on one of the live streams where they said that, like, yeah, they're gonna, yeah. Lord, I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Like what the French toast, man? What gives? If my makeup is going to kill me, like they just want to suck the life out of everything. They want to suck the life out of everything. I wonder if I can find a hazmat suit online for purchases, right? It's my time of the month as well. I swear to God, I'm going to start doing stuff with my blood. I am. I'm going to start doing more blood magic stuff. I am. I'm definitely going to start doing more blood magic. Dang. I write down my manifestations with mine. That's what I'm gonna do. I have a red gel ink pen. I'm just gonna inject some blood in there. I am. I'm gonna inject some of my blood in there and do my manifestations. I love what women are doing with men with blood. There was another woman, so there was one woman in Houston, these men were gang stalking, and so she took her pad off, and they ended up getting away from her. And then there was a man and, like, a woman, and they tried, like, pranking this girl. Well, they did prank her. They, like, threw something off. They threw something at her. They threw something at her. This woman took off her maxi pad. She ran up to the man and she put the pad all over his face. His face looked like he got someone put pizza on his face. It was her blood all over his face. Women women have not, they're not playing. Okay, he's blocked. He was being okay, and I was just waiting for him to do something. Once you start telling us what to do, you're blocked. Like, quit coming over here trying to insert yourself. Like, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these men? It's like, oh my God. Stop with the spells. Stop with the spells. Like, no. And guess what? Now I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm gonna put a spell on you. Like, what's going on with the Dusties? My God, why are these Dusties coming in over here? What the freak? What the freak? Oh my God. I saw this video of this girl getting hit on at a gas station, and she politely refused to give her phone number, so he splashed water in her face. Was it the girl on the motorcycle? Might be easier to get a glass dip pen set or a fountain pen. I think I'm gonna get a fountain pen. Holidays and the Dusties feel entitled to women in their safe spaces, or exactly. Exactly. It's like, oh my God, go get some business. Go get some business. He was Carrie the movie with the blood. Yes. Yes. I was like, damn. And see me, I use a menstrual cup. I use a menstrual cup. So, baby, if you want to play with me and I decide to go that route, in response, oh baby, you're about to be drenched in blood. You're about to be drenched in blood. You gonna have blood dripping from your lips. Because I wear a cup. I wear a menstrual cup. So the blood is just sitting there. The next time a man bothers me, I'm going to tell him to go worry about getting a second stream of income. Do they work if you're heavy? Oh my God. My flow is really light and my period is only a few days. So, but I know that they have like a small, they usually do it if you've had a baby and you haven't had a baby because your uterus enlarges after you gave birth. But because my flow isn't heavy, I can't speak for that. I would assume you would have to empty it out more. I assume you would have to empty it out more if you have a very heavy flow. I don't have to empty mine out a whole lot. So I use the Duchess cup on Amazon, and it's really soft. The Diva cup is way too goddamn hard. Don't get the Diva cup. Please don't get the Diva cup. The Diva cup is way too hard. You're putting Tupperware in your pussy if you get that. That cup's too hard. Get the Duchess cup on Amazon. That's what I use. Do they still have Duchess? Yeah, they do. Duchess cup. And you get 2 for 20 bucks, and they work really well. Or you could get a large. You could get a large one for $12.99. Wait a second. Are these all large? Are these all the same size? They claim oh, okay, so they said size A large, size B small. Okay, so maybe I'm wearing both sizes. I don't know, I never put them up next to each other. I don't know what size I got on. I am way too scared to put anything inside of me. I got a bullet vibe stuck once, and let me tell you, the trauma never goes away. Oh my God, girl. Oh my God, that would traumatize me. I wouldn't want nothing going up there. I wouldn't want nothing going up there. Oh my God, that would mm-mm. But yeah, there's a nipple, there's like a long nipple at the end of the cup, and you would just I don't use that thing. I don't use that thing. I used it once, and the cup went a flying, and the blood went a splattering. Never doing that again. Never. I actually go past the nipple, and I actually do grab the bottom of the cup. I do grab the bottom of the cup just because it's more secure. You can grab the nipple, but then you're gonna have to kinda bear down a little bit to kinda get the cup out more. But for me, that nipple is not stable. That nipple for me, it's not stable enough for me to be pulling on it. That's just in my humble opinion. My very, very humble opinion. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I did not expect to be on here for 3 hours. Did not expect to be on here for 3 hours, but per usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, check everything out in the link in my description with the Patreon and Womanizer, Glow Melanin, all that stuff. Wonderful time with you all per usual, as always. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.